everybody, and welcome to a new STEM challenge. Today's theme is celebration. Now, somebody may have had a birthday recently, so I thought, why not do projects based on parties and birthdays and celebrations? You know, everyone just went back to school recently, so we can celebrate that. You know, if somebody you know or love had a birthday, or maybe you had a birthday recently and you want to celebrate that, it's going to be fall soon, we could celebrate that too. Lots of great reasons to celebrate. So we are going to do some fun projects so we can celebrate whatever's going on in our lives. So our first project is we are going to make a fun straw blowing art party hat, just like this. So it's cute, and we get to use STEM ideas in order to make it. So it'll look really fun, and we get to learn something while we do it. So in your kit, you'll get a party hat template, and you will get a couple of paints with just a little bit of paint in them, because you really don't need much. You just need a very little bit. And then you'll need to provide some scissors and some tape. All right, and so the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to grab our paints, and it's probably best if you use some sort of tray. I have a Christmas one. It's the only tray I had, but you wanna get like a tray or a bowl, or if you want to, you can go outside to do this, or you can do it over your sink, whichever works best for you. This just gets a little messy, so it's better if you do it over something. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our paints, and we're going to take our pipette, which is this little thing, and you hold it here, and you're going to press that into the paint so you get just a little bit of paint inside. And see, I've got about this much paint. That's actually more than I'm going to need probably. But you've got this, your pipette full of paint, and all you want to do is you want to make some drops all over your party hat. All right. And see, like I said, you don't need much paint at all. You just need a tiny little bit. So I'm done with that one, and I used a little blue paint. And now I'm going to add a little bit of pink paint. So we've got all kinds of colors in your kit, and it'll be a surprise what color you get. Okay, so then after you've got your paint drops on there, now you're going to take a straw, which we also give you a straw in your kit too. You're going to take a straw and you're going to blow the paint drops all around your hat. And this is why you need a tray or to do it outside or over your sink, because you're going to blow drops and you want to be very, very careful not to just blow them all over the place. But you just want to blow them around the paper, and it's okay if you blow them off the paper. That's why you have the tray or the sink, or why you do it outside. So you're just going to take your straw and you're going to blow paint around. All right, and you're gonna keep doing this for a little while until you've blown all the paint drops all around your paper. So I'm gonna blow the paint drops around, and then I'm gonna let it dry, and then I'm gonna come back and show you what to do next. Okay, so now that my party hat has been painted and it's dried, and it looks like this, so my drops were all blown all over the paper and scattered, and then I let it dry for a little bit, and now we have our painted hat. And the next step is that we're going to cut it out. So I'm going to cut it out real quick. So now it's all cut out and it looks a little something like this. And so the next step is just to roll it into a hat cone sort of shape. So it's probably best if you start at the top. If you at some point want to trim it too, you're welcome to do that as well, because it might be too tall for you. Maybe you like a little shorter hat. You can always trim it down if you want to make it a little smaller. All right, so you're just gonna need some tape. Any kind of regular tape will do. You just need a little tape to tape your party hat into shape. Okay. All right, and there's a little bit of an overhang that you can see, and feel free to trim that. So now, there you go. Now you've got your cone shape with your paint splattered look. And then the only thing you have left to do is add any extra decorations you want to. Maybe you've got some pom-poms at home you could put on top of your hat. But then the only thing you have left to do is add the elastics. So what you want to do is you want to take your elastic. You were given 2 of them in your kit, and so they just look like this black string. You want to tape an end to each side of your hat so it hangs down like that. You just want to make sure that the ends are taped across from each other, because if they're too close to each other, that's just going to be silly. It's not going to go in your head right. And I taped them. If you want to tie them into a knot or find a different way to put them together, feel free to. I just taped them because it works perfectly fine. But I took 2 different elastics, and you have 2 in your kit too in case you need 2 of them. But I taped 2 of them together to make a longer one. So it's nice and long and it fits on my head. But you can do the same. You can tape the 2 together to make a longer one, and then again, still just tape one side to each side of the hat on opposite ends so you can place it on your head and it'll look nice. And that's how you make your party hat. So now we are going to try some other fun celebration party activities, like blowing up a balloon using some hot air. So stay tuned for the next activity. So for our next activity, we are going to try to blow up a balloon using some hot water. You can also change the experiment or the activity a little bit if you wanted to learn how balloons inflate and deflate using hot and cold water. So this is our hot water. It's very, very hot, and I've got the hot pads, and I've got hot pads for my fingers too to make sure I am being extra safe. So we've got hot water and we've got cold water, so we can look at both of them. Now, the first step is to just put a balloon over the top of your water bottle, because you need an empty water bottle, and then you put a balloon over top of it. And then you're going to want to carefully stick your water bottle into the hot water. You can see it's starting to inflate a little bit. Turn it this way so you can see it. Be very, very careful, and have an adult help you with this one if you want to do it, because it does get hot. You have to be very careful when you do this, because if the water's too hot, it might melt your plastic. But it works because when you stick your bottle into the hot water, the molecules start moving really fast and they become less dense. And so because they're less dense, they start to rise. They're not staying in place, they're rising up. So they rise up to the top and they start to fill the balloon. And then if you want to see it deflate, you stick it in some cold water. Now, our balloon didn't get like super big or super high, but you could see the air started to fill the balloon. And I'm going to try to recreate the experiment if I can after I've let it stand in this cold water for just a second. So let the water bottle cool down, and then we're going to stick it back in hot water again really quick just to see if we can recreate that balloon inflating. Now we're going to try sticking it back in the hot water and see if it happens again. Oh, you can see it. See, the balloon got bigger. So you can see the balloon inflated because the air all moved to the top. And it quickly deflates once you put it back in the cold water. So this is a really cool way to show how air molecules move, how they speed up and they get less dense and they rise to the top, and then when you put them back in that cold water, they become more dense and they move slower, and so they start sinking to the bottom of the bottle. It's such a cool way to see that. Let's see if we can recreate it one more time just for fun. Again, if you do this, please, 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 see, look. Please be very careful and have an adult help you with this, because you're working with hot water, which is a very potentially dangerous thing, and I want you guys to stay safe. So please have an adult help you with it. See, as it cools down, it deflates. Fun! So you can recreate this at home. Like I said, this is a totally optional activity and one that you should definitely have an adult help you with. But if you want to do it, have fun, be careful, and enjoy watching your balloon inflate and deflate. Now, on to our last activity. All right, so time for our last activity. Now this time we are gonna make confetti poppers. And depending on how much confetti you put in, it works a little better. But they look a little something like this. And you get to decorate them however you want to, and that's the fun part. But again, we're also doing STEM with this. We've got some STEM concepts going on. And so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna set that aside. You're gonna take your balloon and you're going to take the end of it, the open end, where you would normally blow air into it, and you're going to tie it into a knot. All right. So you wanna have that knot at the end. Okay. So you should have a knot in the end, so it looks like that. All right, so now once you have your knot, you're gonna take the other end of the balloon. So you've got your knot over here. You're gonna take the other end of the balloon and you're gonna cut an end off there. So you're just gonna, and you don't need to measure, you don't need to have a certain amount, you're just gonna cut off the end. So it looks open. So you've got this open hole. Because then what you're gonna do is you're gonna stretch it over the top of your toilet or your paper towel roll. Oh, there we go. So you want it to look a little bit like that. So you've got your balloon over top of your paper towel roll. And then you want to make sure it's going to stay. So you'll have to use some tape that you have at home. You want to use either like duct tape or packing tape or something really, really strong. Again, this might be something you want to ask a parent for help with, just so you don't get hurt, because sometimes it can stick to you if it's really strong, like duct tape. So you just want to tape around the balloon to make sure it stays on. You don't want your balloon to go anywhere. There. Okay. So your balloon is taped on, and now the next step is just to decorate it. So we give you it's listed as a small piece of paper in your kit. It's just a rectangle of paper. You can use that if you like to, or you can use something else, and you can either just take that and wrap it around and tape it, and you'll want to trim it too to make sure it fits your paper towel roll, but you could do that. That's one way you could do it. I'm actually going to decorate mine with some washi tape that looks like this. Got some elephant washi tape and some polka dots. You can decorate yours any way you like to. You can use markers, you can use paint or paint pens, you can use the piece of paper, you can use tape. You can do whatever you like to decorate yours. Just take the time to decorate it. And I'm going to decorate mine really quick and I'll be right back. All right, so now I've decorated it. I put some washi tape on. And so now I've got my elephants and it's all ready to go. So the last step is just to cut up some pieces of paper, and you can cut up tissue paper or construction paper, whatever you've got at home. We actually gave you a few pieces of construction paper in your kit, so you can just cut those up, and you can cut the pieces in any shape you like. You can cut them any size you like, so if you want to make sure they're bigger pieces, that's fine. The only thing is you want to make sure they're small enough that they'll fit inside and that they'll fit into the balloon at the bottom, because that's how they're going to get pushed if they're in the balloon at the bottom. So they have to make to fit into the bottom. But you can, like I said, you can cut them bigger if you'd like to. You can cut any shape or size if you want to cut little circle confetti pieces or triangles. You are more than welcome to do so. All right. So once you've got your pieces of confetti cut, you want to grab some. You want to put them into your paper towel roll or your confetti cannon and make sure they go into the bottom, into the balloon. And then you just let them fly. Yay! And that's how you can celebrate using some confetti in your new confetti cannon. So I hope you have fun and you get to use these things to celebrate the people and the events in your life. And remember, you can always pick up a kit either at the Grove City or the Westland Libraries. Have a great day.